haunting hour is at hand. Ghostly hauntings since time began. Raw Side Paranormal seeks the truth, looking for some kind of real proof. Creepy floorboards and eerie dark mist. Grab your camera and document this. No time to run, no time to hide. We are catching all of this on the raw side. A slamming door causes a fright. A shadowed hand appears in sight. Grab your REM pods and your K2s, or anything else you can use. No time to run, no time to hide. We are catching all of this on the wrong side. A slamming door causes a fright. A shadowed hand appears in sight. Grab your AirPods and your K2s, or anything else you can use. No time to run, no time to hide. We are catching all of this on the raw side. Icy air touches your neck. You feel like screaming, but you stay in check. All rising up to take the magical flight. You can't believe what's happening tonight. Don't run, don't try to hide. We are catching this all on the raw side. Don't run, don't try to hide. We are catching this all on the raw side.
Hey, everybody. It's a Saturday night on the Raw side. It's ladies' nights, guys. I am glad everybody could hang out with us. Hopefully everyone will enjoy it. It's pretty much going to be like an open mic, but just with the ladies. And we'll just dig deep into what everybody's up to. And let me say hello to everybody that's popped in to join us. Let's see who we got. Mike. Hey, Mike. Oh, hi, Ryan. Sheila. Pomp, you smooth talker, you. Bill, where are you, Bill? Bill came to hang out with us. Yay. We needed Bill the other night. I couldn't get a hold of him. Susan's going to be with us, you guys. Dawn is going to be with us. Miss Brittany, the better half of the two Ply. Don't tell Jamie I said that. And the Boo Girls are here with us as well. And we'll have a couple others popping in, hopefully, as the evening goes on. Who did I miss? Who did I miss? Hopefully I got, oh, Joe. Joe's here. Janice, welcome. I was hoping Joe wouldn't miss it, seeing that his sweetie is here. Blue Sky is with us. And if I missed anybody, just scream out to me and say, hey, I'm here too. Hopefully I got everybody. Let's bring the ladies on. Come on, let's do that. Ghost Wiener. Hello, there's Raven. And then we've got Miss Susan. We've got Miss Dana and the Boo. There's Brittany. And Dawn is audio only, guys. She is here. Hi, ladies. How are you?
Hi.
Hey, everyone.
Hello.
Here we are. Going to take advantage of an evening just of girl chat. What do you think of that, guys? You think it's all right?
I'm excited to actually finally meet Brittany, Dawn, and Dana. It's an honor.
Oh, my goodness. First time meetings. I didn't know that.
I know.
All right. So, yeah.
I'm curtsying, but you can't see me.
Yeah, Blue apparently stepped away for a minute because Jenna's here, so she apparently wanted to go see Jenna. So,
see, we see how we rate.
No, I'm sure she'll be back though. But she was like,
she'll be back. Just, you have to coax her back with a carrot or something.
Oh, Jeff said she's trying to. Jeff just made 10 pounds of pulled pork. And so she's trying to get the pulled pork. So
pulled pork pizzas out.
Yep.
Hey, if I was there, I'd be there waiting in the kitchen.
Right, me too.
I tell you guys, I'll be right back, and I would be in there getting myself a dish. Yes, Dawn is a ghost tonight. That's okay, but she's here. So,
Yeah, I don't even see like a thumbnail for me, so I guess I am a ghost.
no, you were in it. Susan fixed this. Susan did a great job on the thumbnail. We were supposed to have Stevie. Stevie had to cancel because something emergency popped up, so she had to go out on the road. And also Carla was going to be with us, but something popped up with her. She had to go out of town. So that's okay. It's us girls. We'll be fine.
Yes.
That's all. That's all. We'll be fine. So what has everybody been up to? Like I said, one by one, just tell me, girls, what have you been up to? Who wants to go first?
I guess
Not
I'll
everybody. All at
Uh,
once.
everybody's tired of seeing me, so the other ladies go ahead. I'm on every other day.
go. Well, for me, we've with our family medical issue going on. That's been keeping me back and forth, but now that's kind of slowing down a little bit. However, it is now track season for my brother with Special Olympics. So we actually have regionals tomorrow. So I'm like, okay, so it's an hour away. So we have that. But then Jeff and I have been working on a project that a lot of people have questioned why he left the Warren Foundation, Warren Legacy Foundation, and why we both did. And so we've been working on that quite a bit. So he actually had to take a break because I'm on the computer right now and he's not. So it's kind of like, haha.
I gave him the boot. Sorry, Jeff. How about you, Miss Brittany? What have you been up to besides chasing Jamie around the country?
Cleaning house. That's all I did this weekend. Clean house.
Great girl. You know what? I said, screw it. It was nasty out and I just did nothing. That's what I did.
Yeah, bathed the dogs earlier. Went get stuff for Jamie for work. That's pretty much all I've done.
So I guess
Not a whole lot.
Pretty much just hung back. I did have plans. I was going to go filming with Bill because we have plans to do some filming on some areas around the area, and the whole weekend, nothing but rain.
Oh,
that's
And
terrible.
I'm like, yeah, I'm not trekking through piles of mud just, for some filming. So hopefully next week it'll be dry and we can go out and start the adventure. Hi, Miss Julie. Welcome, welcome. Excuse me. Pretty much I'd like to touch base on what it's like to be women in the paranormal. We're usually in the background, and it's the guys always get center stage. So, and of course, we know what Miss Dawn, poor Miss Dawn, we're going to wrap Dawn in bubble wrap because she's always falling down. So, and breaking something. So, Dawn, you can't go out unless you're wearing a bubble suit. We've already decided that. Hopefully we didn't lose her. There's Miss Karen. Hello, Miss Karen. So, Dawn, you've just been up to your therapy and trying to heal?
Yeah, my ongoing joke is that I needed a matching pair because I had the right arm broken. The left one decided, well, we need to match it up. So
right, bookends, yeah.
But yeah, that's what I've been dealing with. And it's been a longer process for actually both injuries. This one's just more painful. And hopefully, it's just slowly I'll be getting back into things. I do have permission from my surgeon to do like kind of the bare minimum still. So I can't do a whole lot until we get past certain issues that I've been dealing with the nerve. But other than that, Joe is going to get me soon so that we can. I don't want to miss out on something that he had arranged quite some time ago. And so I do have that surgeon approved to bare minimum kind of get out, so that will lift my spirits some.
Yeah, so it'll be good. You don't have to drive. Let Joe, you do all the driving.
Joe can help me out, whatever he can do. Yeah.
That's great. So yeah, you won't miss out on anything. So that's the problem. Was it just a regular fracture? What kind of fracture was it? Or a clean break? What was it?
I wish it was just regular. And I don't want to talk a whole lot about it because it does trigger me quite a bit. But no, it was similar to the other one. Both of them I dislocated, like it completely popped out of the joint. But this one, well, they both fractured. So I fractured my humerus, and for both of them. My surgeon said this one was still a bad break, some of the worst he has seen, but not as bad as the right. It's just that the dislocation, it took 3 surgical attempts to get it back in place.
Oh,
And I woke up during one of the procedures and saw them doing it and felt it. So that was real fun.
when you do it right. Holy crap.
Yeah, my pain tolerance is pretty high. Even though it's very pain. When I say I'm in pain, just know that it's probably worse than what other people can handle. So
Yeah,
anyway,
no, I totally understand.
yeah.
Wow, that
But
just sucks.
it'll take a year or so probably for this nerve issue to go away. But I'll just keep dealing with it.
Jeez. Well, prayers for quick recovery. That's all we can say. Let's see. Al popped in. Hi. Hey, Kiwi. How's it going? All right. I'm going to start with you, Miss Brittany. What is it like to be a woman in the paranormal field?
I don't know. Why had to start with me? Why my dog's barking?
Well, just because.
Sorry, my dog started barking right when you asked me. I don't know. That's a tough question. I enjoy it. I do. I let Jamie do all like the editing and things like that because that's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, I hear you. I suck at it.
Yeah. It's just not my thing. But I do love going out investigating and especially like the history of everything. I don't know.
So you just don't go there just to make fun of Jamie when he falls down.
Oh,
So
that too. That too. I have to catch all of that.
you got to catch all of that, yes,
Yes.
because the public needs to know all of that. But yeah,
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. He wanted to play off that fall that he dropped the phone. I'm like, that fall there, they would have known. There's no way to play that one off. They can see you getting back up off the floor. Come on.
right. Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, nice try though. He's like,
But he's really smooth with it, It's
I'm like, I had to. It was perfect, a perfect moment. Why not?
it's kind of like the guy that falls down on his face and gets up really quick, looks around like it didn't even happen. That's
That's exactly it.
he's good at it. You and Jamie just recently went to Paracon. What was that experience like?
Not
was a
that
big
great. I mean, we
stinkeroo.
enjoyed, spending time together, and the plantation that it was at was absolutely beautiful.
Yes.
The Paracon itself was nothing that we expected it to be. So we were pretty disappointed with that. And then the investigation that we did after was pretty terrible too. Yeah, none of them really knew what they were doing, in my opinion. But
Wow.
me and Jamie pretty much kind of led that investigation. But we did talk to the owner, the one who runs the plantation, and she gave us her card for us to be able to go back on our own and do something because there was no, with 10 people in our group, it was no way.
Wow. And yeah, nobody. Looks. I figured, with the money that you paid, I figured because I asked Jamie that when you guys were doing the live, if you were going to be allowed to go out on your own.
That's what I was hoping for, but they didn't. And then we had four or five mediums in our group. I'm like, dude, like why didn't y'all separate them between groups or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No.
Because doesn't that kind of screw things up? And then we could ask Dana that question. When you've got a sensitive and multiple sensitives in the same room, doesn't that kind of screw up an investigation?
Well, we've actually done experiments kind of with this where we've actually put all the mediums in one group and then all the non-sensitive people in a group, or not, or they're not like as prone to being sensitive. So we split them, and it's actually more stuff happens with all the sensitives in the group than the ones that are not. Because it's like, well, a lot of times what would happen is my friend Carmen and Adam and myself would always be in the same group. And when we would, even if it was just two of us, just together, it's like, it is so heightened that it's just like, bam, things will come a lot faster. But then they actually, at one time we actually split where it was two skeptics and two mediums, and the two skeptics actually were hearing things that they had never heard before. And so then they kind of questioned, but they tried to debunk what, and then it's like, you can't debunk what you just heard. I mean, you just couldn't. So it can be a plus, but if they're not real mediums, like what they had,
yeah, like
it ain't gonna fly.
Each medium was saying something was in a different corner and feeling something different, and I was like, hold on a minute, what?
Yeah, because like when we've done it, it's because the way we have done it is Adam would speak out loud, I write everything down, and Carmen just would tell everything afterwards. And weirdly enough, we were like going into the room separately. So one of us would go in, or and what I would be writing down, Adam would be saying at the exact same time. It's like, okay. So, and we have, I don't know if we have that on video or not, or we might have it on in audio, but it's just crazy because, like I said, but when you have ones that aren't, you're gonna, everybody should have, if everybody's truly on the same page as a medium, then when you're in a group like that, everybody's going to be hitting at least on one or two things.
Yeah, and we got zero, like absolutely nothing, like nothing.
Yeah. That's why I always say,
But they felt stuff, they say.
Sure they did.
I'm like, maybe it was the breeze passing by or something.
They were being paid to feel it. Hey, Mark. Hey, Jay. Welcome, everybody.
I think so.
Because all right, now, the question was, and of course, Brittany just answered it, and Jamie answered it in the chat, that you guys didn't get what you intended to get as far as the medium reading him.
Correct. No, because she was magically on our team. Go figure. But in the middle, she stopped me. She's like, instead of doing a reading on Jamie, I would love to do a reading on you. And I'm like, okay, like if that's what you want. But then she ended up never doing anything. I was like, okay, whatever.
Wow.
I told Jamie, I said, I'm not going to keep pressuring her. Like if she's going to do it, she's going to do it. But she obviously never wanted to do it. So.
Right. Well, because she was afraid that she wouldn't be able to produce anything that would make Jamie believe that she was legit.
Yeah, he was like, gotta make sure you're not like shaking your head yes or saying okay. I was like, no. I was like, I'm gonna be tell me more, explain yourself.
Right. You want specifics, yeah.
I'm not gonna
Well, that's a question I got for Dana, is that you see mediums all over the place. All right. I don't claim to be a medium. I am sensitive to certain things. I do pick things up, but I can't claim that I'm speaking to anybody because it just don't happen. But when you got these people that claim that they're mediums, and they always say, well, I've got a name and it starts with the letter B. Well, if they can get the letter, why can't they get the name?
I see, exactly. Because now this is funny because I did this with Seg, and he was like laughing because it was like, okay, because I said, because nobody knows his name or his identity or anything.
Right.
And so we were talking after a live or something, and I said, okay, this is crazy because I said this letter, and he goes, and it kind of stopped him. He's like, okay. And I came up pretty close to what the name was. And then he goes, what about the last name? And I said a letter, and he goes, well, okay, where? And I said, it's in the middle. And he was like, okay. So then it was like, okay. He goes, okay, because what I did was I got the first name, a shorter version of the first name, and then I got where the placement of that letter was in the last name. So
right.
And then he asked me for his wife's name, and I couldn't get I couldn't get anything on that. So
right. So, but I mean, like you say, if they're going to speak to you, that's why I look at it. If the spirit is going to speak to anybody that is some kind of clairvoyant, they're going to give them the whole name, wouldn't you think?
And this is funny because that happened when we went to the school. I can't remember, but the name I came was like very close to what it was, but it sounded the same, just wasn't the same name. So it was like Jed or something, it was like Jed or Ted. So it was like I wasn't getting the full name, but the
Right.
sound of the name. So that sometimes can happen. And I know a lot of times with people that do auto rating, theirs will be the same way, that they won't get a name, like they might get, say, Jerry instead of Larry. So, but it's just what comes. But usually, like when I get a name, I usually I will try to figure out. So, because I will say like, oh, it's either Sally or Allie. So it's something. So
Right.
I'm giving usually three names, and it's like I will keep asking, okay, which one is it? And then a lot of times, because when I do my readings, I will go back and then it will pop. It's like the name just will pop. And it's like, well, this is the name. And then that's when we go back and look at the research and see if we can tie what I felt and read into the history and into the research that we did for the properties.
Right. So at
So,
least you're getting a full name of some sort
yeah.
instead of just a
And
letter.
sometimes too, it's weird because I'll get nicknames. Like I will get a nickname. And so it might be something I'll get, say, it'll come up and it's like, this just keeps coming to me. And it's like the name, like I try not to, because I want it to be precise when I do it. And I'll be like, okay, they're saying like chick, like, and then I'm like, well, is it like a chick, like a baby chick, or is it a chick? And then usually somebody will be like, oh my gosh, that's what we used to call him as a nickname. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
See, there you
okay.
go.
Okay. I mean, it's not like I'm feeding, I'm like giving full names or something very
Right.
similar, not just throwing, oh, I'm hearing then, because most of the times they'll give a common letter, an M, a B, a P, a D, a Bill, like a B for Bill, like those names, or a J,
Right.
names that are very common. They'll do, because those are very common to last and first names. And some of them will go by both. I usually only will do first names unless it tells me something that ends up being a last name. I only hear want to hear those first names. So
Right. I have a perfect setup. I'll have to go and say, tell me what my grandmother's name is. There's
mhm.
no way they're gonna. There's no way,
Hmm.
unless you're real. There's no way you're gonna get my grandmother's
Yeah.
name.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's how mine. Nobody would ever be able to guess my grandmother's name. I
It's
mean,
a Polish name, right?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, my grandmother's too, a Polish name. You're never gonna guess what it
Mm-mm.
is,
No. No. And we laugh
unless you're
because,
real.
yeah. I mean, unless you really know, because she actually went by a shortened booze back. Come on, get up. Yeah,
Get
she
up out of
goes.
the chair.
She
Here
goes
she
by.
is.
There's the Missy. Here, we'll
Yep. Hi,
scooch in
Mike.
there.
Let me get in quick. Hi, Mike. Hi, Simon. I don't know if I said hi to Jamie. Sir Jamie, hi. Wayne, Goth Gal, Pharaoh Goth Gal. Welcome, welcome, guys. I'm so glad you all could hop in. If I missed anybody, let me know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And well, you say your grandmother probably went by a shorter version. No,
Mm-hmm.
they adopted. My grandmother's name is so unique that they couldn't spell it or pronounce it when she came to the United States. So they gave her an American name.
Oh wow.
So
Huh.
Yeah.
you're not gonna guess unless you're real. You're not gonna guess what her name.
Well, yeah, and my grandmother was born in the United States, but they still had some like I mean, it's weird because everybody's like, "Wait, that's a Polish name?" It's like, yeah, it was a popular And my grandmother's name was Philomena, and there's like three ways of spelling it. And it's like, yeah, I mean, even trying to spell, I can't even remember how to spell it half the time. But I mean, and she went by Phil. So it's like, yeah, nobody's ever going to
Right?
Mhm.
Who's gonna? Yeah.
and
Unless you know
nobody's
what
going to
you're
get that one.
doing, right?
Yeah.
Because even when I tell people my grandmother's name, they're like, "What? How the hell do you spell that?"
Now, if you want to go back to like my great grandparents and that, they have like very like Polish names that nobody would ever,
Yeah.
ever, ever, ever get. So,
Yeah, so that's the beauty of it. Susan, Sheila's got a question for you. She wants to know, how long does it take you to dress up? We
Oh
love
wow.
Susan's outfit.
I dress like this every day. No, just kidding.
She doesn't work like that, guys.
You know,
She
in all,
swoops down.
I know, like half of the, in all honesty, it doesn't take me that long, maybe like 20, 25 minutes. I'm getting to be a pro at it. I am.
Let's see, we have a comment here for respect to all you ladies. And Brittany has already alluded to the men folk might often do the video editing, but we have nothing and be nothing without the support of you, the better half of us. Oh, that's
Aw.
wonderful.
Oh, that's nice.
Very nice.
My
Yeah.
husband drives me around, and that's about it. He doesn't. That's as far as he goes with it. Let's see. Here we go.
I did start doing some editing now.
I
don't
try
do
it,
much.
but it just annoys me.
I don't, but you know what? It's funny because I see it as Jeff does a lot of the video, audio, and like doing that stuff. I'll help him with research stuff and that. But I also do a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, like I run usually Facebook. So most of the stuff on Facebook and TikTok and Instagram, that's all me doing it. Usually Jeff, I don't even think he looks at those pages. Honestly, I don't think he does. And then I also do this t-shirts. So I do that stuff as well. But also when we go to conventions, I'm the one that gets everything ready for that, where he has because he was like, I wouldn't even know where to start with that. So I think it's a balance of it. But then he likes doing this stuff. It's like great because I don't, with me being ADHD, I don't have the patience.
Same. I mean, I'll make some of our merch, like the koozies that we have and the magnets and keychains. Like I make all that, but I don't have the patience to sit there and edit.
Yeah.
I would probably break the computer.
Yeah, see, and that's how when we first started, all our t-shirts I made myself with my Cricut, and it was like, okay, this is getting a little bit where we're wanting more people, and I'm like, I can't keep making this many shirts plus keep up with all the other stuff. So it was like, all right, so that's when we decided that we need to get a shop open. So it's like, okay, but I'm also fortunate. That was Jenna in the other room, and she's walking this way. But Jenna is a graphic designer, so I have that fortunate that she can help us. I mean, she's the one that's made our designs for us, and she's usually the one that helps us do a lot of our stuff. So
she needs to make her buy my shit shirt. Also buy it.
Yeah, well,
that one's good.
I have to give her kudos though. She literally the last 10 days she was at the hospital with my sister. So I mean, it's like she was working from the hospital, and so I give her kudos. So we kind of give her a little bit of break somebody, I mean, she's not young, but I mean, she's in her late 20s. So it's like for her to have to do that. I mean, yeah, but to, leave work, right. And at least she can work. She has a job that they understand, let her work remote. So we don't push her often when we need stuff, but that is one that we're trying to figure out how we can get it so we can sell it on the site without it being censored out. So we're like, okay.
Yeah, I didn't think of that.
Yeah. So we're trying to figure out how we're going to do it. And Jeff said he's not allowed to set up the convention. That is true. He's not, because every time he does it, he messes it up and it drives me insane. Because
it's all that chat there, Jeff. Where's the pulled pork, man?
Yeah, bring out some pulled pork.
It is funny because he does. I will tell you, like usually before a convention, I am outside. I have the table set up how they're going to be at the convention, and I'm setting up the exact, because then I put it in the box the right way. Then he comes and he's just like, and it's like,
yeah, he's just a guy. He just throws it out there.
Yeah, and it's like, no, I had it a certain way, and then putting it back in, it's like, okay.
Yeah,
so like,
it's just a guy thing. Sheila's got a question for Brittany. She wants to know, where did you meet Jamie?
We actually met online.
It was a yard sale.
I thought you were just kidding when you just said that. Yard sale?
Yeah, yard sale. He was what was his tag?
No, we met online.
fantastic. Well, that's great because it's very rare when
It
people meet
is. It really
online
is.
that
I really
it
didn't
works
expect
out.
to ever meet anyone online, but it happened.
That's what happened with
There you
us.
go.
Yep. I was shocked. I even pushed him away for a while because I was like, this ain't for real.
Ew, yeah,
Like,
ew.
this ain't for real.
This
And
weird
finally
guy
he was like,
away
you
from
can give me a
me.
chance or not. And I was like, okay.
Miss Dawn, you're awful quiet. I got a question for you. Now, I know, you and Joe do an awful lot of research and investigating. Is mainly just Joe that does the editing, or do you do part of that as well, or just the research?
It better be just Joe that does the editing because I do not have the talent that he has. I'll
Uh,
probably get him to teach me a few things, but my channel really was just to separate from him to talk about my paranormal experiences because I have over 20 years on and off in experiences that a lot of people don't get to hear about because when you're on a panel or on Joe's channel with like Crow and Seg and everybody else is like you're not going
right.
to get a word in edgewise to talk about a whole lot and I don't mind that at all because I am typically a quiet person that sits back and takes it all in anyway. And I wanted to share some of those experiences. But then when I got injured, it ended up my channel's like updates on my injury right now. And I got to take all that off of there and start from scratch. And I do plan on kind of doing better once I can get back on track. But he would do the editing. We both do the research. We're still finding some interesting things. Even last night and this morning, I'm still researching the place that you know about. And
Oh
it's
Lord, really? That's like a never-ending
no,
holy
it's a
shit.
never-ending thing. Yes, but it's funny how we do find the things we need that we didn't come across, even almost a year ago. So,
Right,
because we're a year in, and we don't usually for research, we don't have to do those deep dives. Typically, it's just when you do, I mean, you do take it on and you just have to finish it. You can't just give up and
right,
that's what a lot of people do sometimes when you can't find the answers. And if I'd given up um, in this process, I wouldn't have found half the things that I found.
right.
You just get lucky. I mean, some stuff has fallen in our laps for some of these locations we've gone to where we just get lucky with the research that someone else just couldn't uncover. We're very thorough. I take it very seriously. I also like to have fun, but you don't see us as much having the fun that we do have because we do show a lot of serious stuff. And he and I think that's how we meshed really well when we met was the fact that we investigate very similar. And I did so many group events where I couldn't tell people how to do their investigation. I couldn't debunk it, and I had to sit there and watch them get excited about a REM pod. And I'm like, yeah, this just isn't for me. But they were free events for me, so I couldn't turn it down. And
Yeah,
cool locations, but then it was like, yeah, this isn't how I want it to go. And luckily, I met Joe soon after that and was able to, go to locations with him where I could investigate the way I want to. And I'm still learning. I mean, like even with that experience, when you're new, you just got to kind of accumulate the experiences. And I'm not new, but I'm still learning.
sure. I think we all are. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
because all kinds of stuff
Absolutely.
comes up that you don't have experience with, and it'll catch you off guard. And so it's good. You have to keep learning. You never shut that door. But yeah, you guys, yeah, perfect couple as far as that goes. Always said that it was like the paranormal couple of the century because just you guys, like you said, similar styles. You both have the passion for the history and the way things are done. I wish you'd show more bloopers.
He'll probably start doing that. I mean, we
Did you hear
talk about
that,
a lot of
Joe? Blooper
things.
reel.
Yeah.
We talked about that a lot. Well, as long as it's not me falling, let him and Jamie fall.
Right.
Yeah, you do that to them. They do it so gracefully.
No.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Don, you don't need to fall down no more.
No, I'm done. I mean, I think you got to be careful what you ask for and what you wish for because there's so many times where I was so busy in life and I was like, I just need a break. I need a break. I didn't think it was a break in my arm that was going to
Well,
happen.
there you go. You got a break.
Yeah, I got the real break. So just be careful what you
It's
ask
the one
for.
you didn't want. Let's see. Poppy has a question for Susan. Where did the name Lady Victoria Darkwood originate?
Oh, let's see. So I've always been intrigued in the medieval times. A matter of fact, for some reason I can't read myself. So I have one of my close friends read me. And she was telling me that one of my past lives was in the medieval era. But I'm also intrigued with like the Victorian era as well, with the little twist of Gothic. So that's kind of my style. So what I did is I rolled everything into one. And then I'm really connected to ravens and crows. So that's why I got the idea of the feathers and the cloak and, all that I put together. And that's how I came up with the name.
There you go. Ta-da!
Mm-hmm.
Jay wants to know if any of you can do a remote reading.
I do not do remote readings. I will do remote views, but I do not do it on a regular basis because I'm still trying to get that part down. It's a little tricky to do it, but I do. The only time I do remote views is like to public places. I don't do it to like people's houses or anything. Only when we're practicing, like when I was doing my shamanic journey, did I do it into a house. But usually it's just in public places.
All right. Wayne says, yeah, Jamie was part of a buy one, get one free sale.
Oh, man. Oh, no.
Poor Jamie.
Wow.
Jamie was a BOGO. Oh, no. And then Jeff says, yeah, I would have pushed Jamie away too. He's got no ass. Are you telling us that you're an ass man, Jeff?
Jamie always says, I got enough for the both of us.
Oh my God. Are you guys, if I missed anything that you wanted me to notice or post, just yell it out to me again because I'm behind on the chat. Cree has a question. Do you find it hard to be taken seriously as a woman that investigates the paranormal? Who wants a shot at that one?
Well, I could say I don't. I don't even put like the sexes in my mind when I think of investigating. Everybody
Right.
has their strengths and weaknesses when it comes to investigating. And Joe and I feed off of each other's strengths and weaknesses. I think a lot of teams do that. Some are better at tech than others, and some are good at being able to pay attention to details. I mean, it's just
Right.
like, I just don't even think of female versus male when it comes to that. Same thing when I've been teaching or any job I've done. It's like, I'm going to put in the work regardless. I don't think about what the man does and what the woman does. And that's
Correct.
just me.
Yeah. Now, the only time I've ever seen it that people, like when we've been at a couple conventions, people will avoid me to go talk to Jeff. That's the only time I ever see it. Like when we're teaching classes or we're on ghost hunts, it's equal. But when we're at conventions, a lot of times they all want to go to Jeff. So it's like, okay. I've just gotten used to it. So it's just like, that's why I kind of do my thing at the conventions and he does, and at conferences that we go to, and he does a lot of the speaking with the people.
Now, Dawn, same thing, because you've been to conventions and all of that. Have you been treated that same way where they would overlook you and go directly to the guys?
Well, even the recent one, Gettysburg last year, I wasn't really a part of that scene. Like, I sat in the background anyway. I helped out the booth when they had to walk away because it was more of, I was, helping. But then Joe would have me sign someone's poster. But I wasn't in on the it doesn't say my name on the poster. And like in part of the documentary, like I'm at the very end, even though I've been to Monroe House quite a bit. So someone had come up to the table and said, whose signature is this? I'm like, that's mine. I'm a loser. I'm here in the background. But I chose
don't ever
to
do
be
that.
back there. What was funny more so about, I've been to conventions where I've walked past tables of, some of the paranormal celebrities, some of the horror celebrities. I'll walk past them and just smile at them and stuff. It doesn't even bother me. It doesn't faze me. I'm not going to stop at their booth It's
Right.
weird that the way I am. But when it came to the Evil and Earth booth, it was just so funny that when Eric was there, he was Personality Plus, and if you don't know who he is, like he just got people riled up and like, hey, he treated them like, even if they weren't going to stop, he made them stop. Like he was like, hey, come over here. And he was
Right.
he was a marketer. Matt would be like, hey, buy our stuff. Do you want a poster signed? It was
Right.
awkward for Matt, but like Eric, it was natural. It was funny to watch because I love marketing and sales and stuff, um, and it's just like, yeah. So I get it, but I think people
Mhm.
just in general, if they're not interested in stopping at your booth, they're not going to. I don't know that it was really anything, about the person itself or me in
Right.
the background. I like to sit in the background. I don't want to stand up on my feet all
Nah,
day.
you're part of the group. You get yourself out there. Equal billing, I say. How
Mhm.
about you, Brittany?
Mhm.
How did you feel? Do you feel that people approach Jamie more than they would you?
We haven't really done like any conventions or, anything really. And then we both have access to like our Facebook, So I really haven't had too much experience of them going to him more than me. I guess once we start like if we start doing like conventions or things like that, I may experience it, but I haven't yet.
So, how about you, Miss Susan? How do you feel when you are doing an investigation, or if you're working with other people or in other groups? How do you think they treat you? Do you feel that like you're overlooked because you're a woman?
Not at all. I'm all out there.
Good.
I'm very hard to ignore. But it's funny that you mentioned this, Laura, because I think it was not even a year ago. There was this huge thing going through the community saying how paranormal women that are paranormal investigators don't get as much respect as they do with the males. So it's very interesting that you raised that subject. But I truly now I feel that it's even. Um, Previously there may have been people favoring the male side, but now I think it's pretty much even. You
Right.
just
Well,
you like you said, you just have to put yourself out there as well.
yeah, because we've all grown up with watching, the beginning stages of the paranormal field on television, and it was
Mhm.
all strictly men. The
Yeah.
women were always in the background. So I think everybody's just used to that. But
Yep.
now that you see how we've progressed, and the teams and the women should have equal footing because they do just as much work, they put just as
Mhm.
much into it, and I think we bring a different perspective to an investigation than the guys do, because you never know. Like you can go to a certain place or location or whatever, and the guy could be doing his thing and get nothing. But then if the woman puts her touch on it, and might attract whatever is there, and it would open up to the more gentler sex than it would the guys, because guys are sometimes pretty rough, and they take a rough attitude towards like provoking and crap like that, and
Yeah.
where a woman I think is just does it in a more gentler perspective.
And
She
I was saying that's how we do it. Like when we do our stuff, when we're on investigations, we take that into consideration, who we put in what groups and how we go, and so we do use it to the advantage that a lot of times, like a place here, Spaghetti Warehouse, I've been thrown in there because there's like little children there, and they're attracted to a mommy figure, and
right.
so so we get pushed. We get pushed into that, but that's also when you're investigating. So it's like investigating. It's like it's pros and cons of, okay, what's going on, that okay, we need women to really get in there and do it compared to a man doing it. So
There you go. Let's see. All right, Sheila wants to know, how did my husband propose to me?
Yes.
How did I get into the paranormal? It's not a really great romantic story, guys.
Mine ain't either, so it's okay.
Right. Well, I've known my husband since 8th grade. We've been dating since 8th grade. And when I was 20 years old, it was in his mother's kitchen. And he asked me, and I said yes. Um, And that's pretty much the big romantic story there. And then let's see how I got into the paranormal. As it started, I was 8 years old. I actually had my first experience in a castle, a local castle. And ever since I was hooked, because I wanted to know why that happened to me, who the hell was talking to me, who the hell scared the crap out of me, because it did. And so that, it started that way. And then I would just have other experiences as I was growing up, and then just started to get into, filming things or recording things. And back then, you use, regular shit camera and a Walkman to record back then. That's what we had. So I didn't save any of that stuff because I was too young to think about saving that, except for I only have one tape that's saved, actually. But now that we have better, recording equipment and all of this and that, because I did take a break for a while, and now I'm full-fledged back into it again. Now I can use the cameras that we could use now to get better results, and the digital recorders better results. So this way I know I'm not talking to myself saying, well, who the hell just said my name in my ear? I'd be able to catch this stuff now and put it out here. So it's this, but yeah, not a big romantic proposal deal.
So wait a minute. As he was making you dinner, he just stopped and he was like, hey, you want to marry me?
No, we were sitting around his mother's kitchen table and we were just talking about traveling and stuff. And he just said, well, he goes, would you like to marry me? And then we could travel together.
Oh.
And I said, well, okay. It was about it. Because he knows I wasn't going to travel outside the state with him unless being married.
No, yeah.
He wanted to travel. This is what, because I was a good girl. I didn't do those things. So if you want it, you had to put a ring on it. So, and he did. And here we are 37 years later.
Wow.
So technically, yes, my husband, since I was 15 to now, I'm going to be 58 in June.
That is incredible. Being with somebody for that long. Wow.
Yeah. I always say the problem was I fed him and I couldn't get rid of him. That's what it was. He says, you knew how to cook, and it made him happy. And that was it. He's stuck. Let's see. Joe said I had a hard time finding the remote, let alone trying to read one. Oh God, Joe. Oh, hi, Shadow Cat. Like I said, I'm behind, guys. I'm behind. Let me see if I can catch up here. Let's see. I would push Jamie away too with my hips. Oh my God. Joe. Hey, Thorne. How's it going? Never late. Always on time. Doesn't make a difference when you show up. As long as you come and hang out. Hello, Leanne. Welcome. Let's see what other questions we've got going on here. Pleased to meet Leanne. Yeah, your first time here with me. Love to have you. Like I said, if I missed anything, guys, just spit it out again, and I will try to catch that. Let's see. Okay, we've got Sweet Gossip. That's a great question. Sometimes it's hard to be taken seriously, and some of the scam and cult spaces as an advocate, very interesting from your side to hear. Yeah, it is. Well, because a lot of, figure, well, women don't know anything. You got that attitude still out there, unfortunately. But not for nothing, there's a lot of women in this field that are very serious and know what they're doing. Let's see. Pump, I was just joking. It was an excellent documentary. Yes. Oh, yeah. Carla and Mariah couldn't make it. Mariah had a family event. Carla got something come up unexpectedly, and she had to go out of town, so she couldn't come. And also, we were supposed to have Stevi from. Oh my God, isn't that terrible?
Truth or Demons.
Truth or Demons. Thank you. I just drew a blank. I'm sorry, Stevi. So yeah, she is, and also she had an emergency. So that's okay. You guys are stuck with us. Okay, what did Leanne have to say there? How do you feel about locations that report the most significant activity is directed towards women, particularly attacks. It seems to be a common report from some locations.
I think that it depends on the location because I hear the exact opposite where it's like if you're a man and you go to one that's known to have been a brothel, well, you're going to have a problem in that like certain room or certain place. So I hear both sides. Like
Mhm.
it depends on the location and what stories they're giving and what happened there. If there are children, and also like that place in Gettysburg, um, when people think that a child spirit, if there was a child spirit involved or something that involved children, and this was that orphanage that we investigated with Harley, the headmistress was supposed to have really been a bad person, and so it doesn't necessarily mean that women are going to be taken as a comforting figure, depending on what happened at that location. So I think that question it goes both ways. And I go
Mhm.
by myself. Joe leaves me alone so many times, like in a basement somewhere, and I'm like by myself, and I don't get scared. I'll go up
I
to
can
the
hear him
third
say, "Here's a
floor.
camera, Don. I'll be back."
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I blindfolded and yeah,
Right.
whatever.
I think
Wow.
Joe and Jeff do like the same kind of things because Jeff does that to me sometimes as well. So,
They leave you guys as bait. Oh my.
and it's sometimes I don't think it's on purpose. It's just like they know they got to get stuff done, and it's like, well,
Right.
yeah, they'll take care of themselves, kind of thing. So.
There you go. Unless you start screaming, I guess you guys are all right. So it's
I mean, there's times that I'll tell Jeff, "Hey, don't leave, make sure somebody's babysitting me," and we do that. Like especially, it's more so when we go with our friends, our one group Togs that we're a part of, because I get put in like some really like the last time we went to Spaghetti Warehouse, we had two people that had never watched me before because I was blindfolded and ears covered, and it's like somebody's got to make sure they're watching her because if something happens, you got to be able to grab her, and nobody knew what was doing, and it's like yeah. So I mean, you have to. I think like Joe and Jeff, they know us and trust us, so that's like okay. But when you're with other people, that's when it kind of you have to really just kind of look out for each other more so.
Mhm.
yeah. Okay. Let's see. Pop says, "Are all of you ladies close enough to possibly do an investigation together?" Oh, don't I wish?
I wish.
Don't
Mhm.
I wish? I think the closest is me and Susan.
Mhm.
But three of us
We're
on
the
this panel
closest.
we are going to investigate
Yeah.
together
Mhm.
at the end of
Mhm.
the year or
Yeah.
in fall.
In the fall.
Yeah. Can't
Great.
wait. Cannot wait.
See, we're left out. We're left out. I see how it is. Whatever.
Oh man.
We're the losers of the group. No, just kidding.
Y'all are not.
No, it's yeah. I don't travel very far. So hey, Phil, welcome, welcome. Let's see. Sheila wants to know the most terrifying paranormal experience. To all on the panel, Dawn to Miss Investigate Beauty.
Miss
Oh,
Invisible.
sorry,
Yeah.
I'm blind as a bat, guys. For some reason.
Miss Invisible Beauty.
There you go. Thank you, Susan. So, okay, we'll start with Brittany. What was your most terrifying paranormal experience?
Actually, we haven't really had any paranormal experiences. I believe in it, but we haven't encountered any. Besides the demon that pushed Jamie, Other than that,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
haven't had any.
Dawn, what is your most terrifying?
See, I can't say terrifying because again, I'm not scared, but I would say I've had some weird experiences, and probably the one that caught me off guard the most. Well, gosh, there's more than one. Like my Monroe House, because I was there during an injury, my first injury, and didn't know what to expect. But more so before I met Joe, when I went to Missouri State Penitentiary, in Missouri, obviously. um, I was
It was in Missouri.
yeah, Missouri State Penitentiary was in Missouri, the state capital. Great place. I want to go back, but I did the day tour to look at the buildings before we would do the overnight, and it was a group event. And we were told a lot of the stories. Had some very famous men incarcerated there, but they also had a woman's wing. And the woman's wing or women's wing was a lot more weird as far as just like, I don't know. I don't like to talk about energy because of Kenny Biddle, but Kenny's not in here. But it did have
The
just a weird
Dream
vibe.
Crusher.
But Death Row, I forgot about a story, and so when I went in there, I had walked off by myself and came back to where the event owner, the company owners were there, and they were having some kind of session with this specific prisoner in Death Row. And I remember going over to the wall with these other ladies and seeing this person's name, and I completely forgot that that person they were pointing out was not the person they were talking to. And so I got confused, but apparently you had to ask permission to go inside his cell for a reason. And I didn't really know about it. So I just was like, oh, I'm just going in. And as soon as I hit the area to walk right through the threshold, I had the biggest static charge throughout my whole body that left me frozen. And I couldn't
Wow.
move forward. And I can't explain that. And they were like, hey, get off her. She didn't mean it. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I should have asked permission. I was just following along with what they said. And finally it released. And I know that sounds weird, but like I told you, I've had experiences that just don't go with the norm of like what you see, between me and Joe. But it was a little more like that static charge not allowing me to move. I know what it feels like when people describe it because I had that happen to me. Now, when I went home, I decided to research it because I was like, this doesn't make sense. Like, what is this whole thing? Well, I found an old Ghost Hunters video, and they told the story. Steve and Tango were told that prisoner died because he was brought to death row, even though he wasn't serving in death row. He was
Right.
brought to death row as a snitch because they wanted to hide him from the general population, and he was beaten in his cell.
Oh, wow.
So he did not like for people to come in there. Now that's a story, whether you have experiences there or not, but it kind of fell in line like, okay, now that makes sense why you got to ask, because he was murdered in his own cell. They were supposed to protect him. Made sense.
Scary,
Sorry, I got off
yeah.
on a tangent there. I have a lot
No,
of
that's
paranormal
good.
stories.
We have the whole story there.
But
Miss
not terrifying.
Susan.
It's just different.
Right. Well, how about you, Miss Susan? Anything terrifying? Now, I just have to put this in before we go ahead. Now we're going to refer to Jamie as the sponge.
Yeah,
boy.
the sponge. Yeah.
Sorry.
Sponge.
So, new name, Sponge.
Scrub pad, dish sponge.
Yeah.
Your idea there.
Dishwasher.
Yeah, Phil said dish sponge, the one with the scrubby. He's not the scrubby pad, he's the sponge. Okay. Poor
Oh my
Jamie.
God.
I'm going to get it when he
I
gets online.
I roasted Phil all morning tonight. He's trying to get back at me.
Oh, okay.
That's so funny.
Okay, Susan, have you ever had anything terrifying at any of your
No,
locations?
no, I have to say
Hey, Shane, welcome.
I haven't come across any. No. Everything
Fantastic.
is, if anything, I walk into a room and they all like run away. So
It's like, oh shit, she's here. Let's go.
I know. Well, I think sometimes I'm too aggressive. Like I walk into a place and I'm like, okay, I'm here. Instead of like gradually
You're the one
going,
that's terrifying.
yeah, probably. So instead of going in nice and calmly saying, hey, this is me, blah, 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 I just go straight in there. So
here I am. Let me have it.
let me have it. And then, so for example, like for the SK Pierce Mansion, it's like I walk in there and it's like you hear activity up on the third floor. I go up to the third floor, you hear activity down in the first floor. It's like they were playing like a hide and go seek with me. So
Yeah,
yes,
they were effing with you. That's what was
I
going
have
on.
I have to be less aggressive. I have to tone down a little bit.
Okay, Miss Dana, anything terrifying?
Actually, I've had some things that have been in person, but the worst thing that that I think sticks with me the most is we were doing an interview on, and some people have seen this, doing an interview, and the lady that we were interviewing all of a sudden kind of like turned, and she was focused on, like, super focused on me, and the way that saying the name and looking at me, I literally bolted out the front door and to get myself grounded, because I thought I had to ground myself that quickly. And like, I was like laying, I mean, if the police would have went by, would have drove by, they would have probably thought there was somebody just laying there and something happened to him in the front yard, because I was that pushed into the ground trying to get as much of me on the ground as possible. Like literally, that's still, when we bring it up, like because we show this in our class, like literally I have to leave the classroom or turn myself around and plug my ears. I can't even stand to watch or listen to that, because it got to me so mentally, because I was not prepared. I mean, I was open at that point, and I didn't think anything of it, because I didn't even think anything like that would happen. And it, like, because it was coming at me, and I think afterwards it still was dragging and just kind of like covering over me a lot, because it took me a couple weeks to get where I was like, okay, I'm back to normal with it. So
Wow, yeah, that's scary.
yeah.
Cree wants to know, do you think that it would be more gung-ho into running into a situation that you feel might be haunted, you or your male counterpart? I think she wants to know, who do you think would be more gung-ho about running into the situation, you or your male counterpart?
I think we probably both would run toward it.
Yeah.
I mean, we both tried the other day.
Brittany's got to help Jamie sometimes run.
Yes, I got to help him get there.
Oh, yeah.
Because he tries to take the carpets.
For me,
okay.
I was to say for both, it would probably be both of us, unless it's at one place particular that we go to, then it would be him. I'd be like, you go, I'll stay here.
Yeah, same for me and Joe. We both will run, or well, we don't run. We will walk fast.
Yeah, ask Jamie how that works out.
Yeah. Well, Joe's getting experience with potholes too.
Someone will fall, but also someone will catch that and think we're actually running because we're scared. Like, no.
Right.
So yeah, actually, Philly, this would be a great idea. It would be fun to have a men's versus women panel. We'll have to do that the next time.
Yeah.
Definitely, that's a great idea.
Yeah, to get the different points of view. Oh, everybody go. Yeah, shit. Okay, Dawn's not on camera. She's just hearing audio.
You could almost
She
do it like
she didn't want to outshine the rest of us with her beauty, so she toned it down. Just kept it audio.
Laura, you could almost do it like the Newlywed Game.
That actually would be funny.
That would be funny. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Joe, yeah, I have a thing for finding holes. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm gonna see Joe a
man.
hole finder.
Every time I see Joe's video,
Oh,
I
it's
laugh.
so funny. Like when I investigated in the wooded area back from, my house, and I had a little too much to drink during that time, and all of a sudden it was pitch black, and I had my camera up next to me, and then my best friend was in back of me, and we were just chit-chatting, just filming, and all of a sudden she goes, where did you go? Where did you go? I completely fell in the ditch. Completely fell in the ditch. And I was just like, help. Oh my
rolling
God.
around in it.
It was so funny. And I couldn't get out either. It was so funny.
And they didn't
So
take
funny.
a picture of it and then, laugh and then help you out. They were
It was so funny.
well, because what makes me die laughing is because the Brittany's reaction when Jamie fell. I could, because I do the same thing. Are you okay? Yeah. Then I burst out laughing. And then,
He was already laughing. He's like, you didn't even ask me if I was okay. I said, because before I could, you were already laughing, so I knew you were good.
right. So then she proceeded to
I
break
couldn't
her
do nothing but
balls.
laugh. I tried to grab the phone so he can get up. He didn't want to give me the phone. I was like, why didn't you on your own?
Right. It's not lame, Joe. You're going to be on the panel.
Yes. He's going to be one of them.
We're going to have to set that up and have, guys and girls and
We
see what we
should.
can do.
Yeah,
So be prepared, Mr.
that'd be
Vitale,
fun. Definitely would be.
the famous Joe Vitale. He's going to put you on the spot. Let's see. Jamie says, I'm going to be doing a music quiz of riffs on my channel. Be a giggle. Yeah, that's good. That's fun. Everybody likes to do the music thing. It's fun. But yeah, good idea. Guys and gals, and let's see where we end up. So get ready for the invites, guys. Shane says I'm in for the panel. So yeah, that'll be fun.
Nice. Great, Shane. Good to
See,
have
all
you.
right, it's already starting. Oh, this is what Sheila says. Men panel would be food, talk, and animals, and boob sizes. Yeah, pretty much.
I
If
I
you
think
didn't-
I heard that.
I-
I was just saying, I think I heard that almost every Friday night at some point when I'm walking up to, when I get up out of bed to see why Jeff is still up making a lot of noise. So
right.
he's either with Joe, Dawson, or Crow. So
Yeah, then it's trouble, trouble, trouble.
Mhm.
Wayne says I'm in, but whose side?
Oh man, Wayne, you pick and choose. Pick and choose.
I
Right.
don't know. Maybe we get Mountain and Karen to come on.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we have to do the update. We're waiting on that, guys. There is an update coming, but
Yeah.
it's gotta wait.
I hear she might be getting out. So
Oh, so yeah, we're gonna have to see what happens. We gotta wait. We got it set up. Just gotta wait. Let's see. Cree says, from the woman's point of view, what annoys you the most besides fake channels when it comes to the paranormal world?
Oh Lord.
That's a loaded question.
Yes.
Let it out, because I was
You don't
discussing
want
this
me to
earlier.
let
I am
it
so
out.
sick and tired of walking on eggshells. Let it out. Who cares?
No, there's a lot there, but as far as like the paranormal itself, being in investigations that I've been on, especially the group ones, it's just, kind of knowing when people are very uneducated on the paranormal and really feel like they're going home with a bunch of evidence that really isn't there. And I feel sad and bad for them sometimes, like, yeah, you're going to share this story with everybody else, but you can't debunk the experiences necessarily. It's just like when like a REM pod is not communication that you can validate, then they're going back with stories because I saw one that said with a K2 meter that they traced the age back of a home with a K2 meter. I'm like, no, that's not how you do it. You go and do the research to find out how old the home is. You don't do the equipment, so you're doing it wrong. So that's annoying. But then just the drama in the paranormal right now, I have to try to steer away as best as I can because I have bigger fish to fry in my own life. I don't want the drama. I think it tears a lot of people apart that are good in the community, and it makes it confusing for the people that watch the shows every day. And you shouldn't feel like you have to pick sides, and I'm just done with all that. So you don't see me as much trying to get involved in the drama because I could, but I choose not to.
So yeah, how do you other girls feel about that?
I see it like for residential cases, it bothers me to see when groups aren't taking it seriously and they're just going in there and they want everything to be demonic, where they're not looking at the person as a whole, the situation as a whole, ruling out, is there a mental illness? Is there some type of medical issue? Is there something in the house doing it? When they go full force in there and it's like it's demonic right off the bat, where they're not taking residential cases serious, and it's just a fun and games thing for them. And you see people getting hurt and people that are being taken advantage of, and that's where I think it really.
I'm still here.
It needs to, that's where I think it really needs to be a focus, that they need to educate themselves more on doing a residential case before doing a residential case.
Yes, because I've done interviews where I've asked people about doing residentials and they don't have the checklist like you and Jeff do. And that's the kind of checklist that I would do when I would do residentials. it's a long process. It's a very in-depth process,
Mhm.
and the ones that are doing them nowadays, it's got nothing on
Yeah,
what
I
we
mean, we do before we go in, actually do a in-person either interview or in-person meeting. It's at least 40 hours in of talking on the phone, talking, in chat, researching the property, researching the people, finding out it, getting them to trust us, to be able to open up with us, to let us know everything that's going on so that we can serve them and help them in the best way possible.
right.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I feel that, it's not a game. It's not a
No.
game. You don't go in, it's not a joking game just because you're going to be on YouTube or, wherever. These are, you truly, if whether or not you believe in spirits, I do from first experience, but, you're interacting with once real people. I mean, it's not a game. If you don't have enough experience, then there's lots and lots of groups most likely in your area or close to your area that you could team up with to do investigations with together and get the experience you need.
Yeah, I
But
mean, even
you
like in our
know,
area, we actually we help teach a class it's like one, 3 or 4 times a year. One of the local colleges puts on a
mhm,
class, and you can learn how to do paranormal investigating the right way. And we actually do show them the difference between doing what you would do at a residential compared to what you would do at like a public ghost hunt. And we show them the differences. We show them some videos so that they can see, okay, this is what you would not do, and this is why you're not doing this, and this is why you would do it. And so it's something that, I mean, people, when they see it, they're like, wow, never thought about that. It's like, yeah. And to see how much time, I think we actually put more time into a residential case than people would probably ever. So you would never know how much time goes into residential cases compared to going into just researching for a public hunt. It's like, it's huge how much time we spend just doing the research and finding out about everyone that's involved in in the land, in the home. Because sometimes it can be so random that what's paranormal going on
mhm.
is related back to something that might be related to the land, or say the house that somebody else wants, somebody in the family may want. It's
Right.
crazy how. And to find, when you find that out, then it's like family's like, oh my god, I would never have thought that. And it's like, yeah. And but even with the mental health, it's so crazy how many people with the mental health issues that they don't get the help until sometimes we are the ones that are helping them to get the help, because they just don't realize that some of the things that are going on is that they're seeing, or they're thinking they're seeing, is just because they just need help.
Right. Well, see that, and you touched on that point, because there's people out there that are doing residentials and they don't even do a mental health background check.
No, no,
They don't even consider it. So how can
no.
you even go in there not knowing the background of the people that are involved? Because it could be simple as, okay, mental health issue, that you could
And
redirect them.
yeah, there's
Mhm.
been several times we've gone in, and it has been they're prescribed two medications that contradict each other. And so it's like, you might want to talk to your doctor about these two medications. This is the perk of having people that are in the medical field on your team, because they know about medications and that. And it
Right.
was like, you may want to go ahead and have talk to your doctors, because you have two different doctors prescribing this and they're not on board with what's going
Wow.
on. You may need
Right.
to talk to them. And sure enough, you stop taking, they got that worked out, and they're like, oh crap, didn't know you were taking that. And it's like, yeah, you shouldn't be on this and that. And then got off and everything goes away.
Wow. Hey, Dazzler, how you doing? Cree has a question. She says, do you find it hard to stay quiet when you see women making the paranormal world look bad by bad investigations or the way they talk or act? Good question.
Jeff makes funny videos of me when I watch some of the stuff that I see, because I'm just like, are you freaking serious? Because yeah, I just, I can't.
Yeah, I have a real
Mhm.
hard time watching it as well, because I get really infuriated
Yeah.
uh,
There
by
was
the
two. There was two
behaviors.
girls. I don't even know their name, because if everybody knows, I don't watch a lot of the paranormal stuff. I don't watch a lot of the videos. Like Jeff can watch videos all day long.
Mhm.
I don't do. Everybody knows Beardo and Seg are the two things I listen to on my drive into work and out of work, because that's how long they're same time as my drive. But when sometimes I'll come across, I'm like, dude, this is no, and or he'll say, look at this, and I'm just like, no,
Yeah.
and then he makes a video.
I get angry. I think,
Yeah.
come on, it's bad. It's bad
Well,
form.
it's not just on YouTube, because when I did group events, when I would have to manage some groups, I had one couple that came over to me and said, "Do not put this lady in my group. She's already drinking." I'm like, "Well, she shouldn't be drinking. They're not allowed to drink."
Mhm.
But they felt like she was drunk. She was just acting erratic, and they're like, my father, like, this is the first time he's been here. I'm celebrating his birthday. This is a gift from me. I do not want her in my group. And I had to take her on and put her in my group. And I already was getting annoyed with her from the get-go. And I had to put her in her place pretty much in front of people. I didn't bite my tongue, because you're ruining other people's investigation. And she was a newbie. Like, she didn't know how to act. She didn't know how to be quiet during certain points. And I know she was frustrated with me, but I was like, at this point, if you don't stop, we're going to have to kick you out. And there's probably no refunds, because you just can't do this. You
Yeah,
can't,
that
because I
happened.
knew how it felt being in
Yeah.
group investigations and not running a group, but being the participant. And it gets old when you have to
Yeah.
like tell people how to be. So it's not just on YouTube. It's, people's events when they go to places too.
Right. Well,
Yeah,
I mean, you're not going to be everybody's mother.
We were at doing a ghost tour it was with Togs at a cemetery, and this one lady kept hounding Harold and asking questions, and it's like, don't ask questions, we're trying to set up. And he was nice like 2 or 3 times. And it's funny because Harold, Jeff will even vouch for this one. When Harold's done and had enough with somebody, he'll be like, Dana, take care of it. So I went over to the lady, and I said, you know what? You can wait to ask a question till the end. We told you we have to get our stuff ready. You need to go. And everybody just kind of was like, okay. And the lady she was nasty. And I was like, nope, I stomped her down. And so kind of now I'm like I'm not going to put up with, if you're going to do it and you're going to ruin it for everybody else. No, I will go. You need to go.
That's all. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. Kiwi says, do you do your personal ethics guide on how you investigate?
Mm-hmm. And Jeff can vouch for this one too, because I do checks on Jeff when he's done. And I think I do it because I don't really have to do it as much on myself, but I will check him. Like if I think he's not doing something and he think, oh no, I will no, don't do it. And so I will do an ethics check on him. And he has once put up video and I told him not to do it. And then somebody said something to him and he goes like, oh, Dana told me I probably shouldn't do it. I'm like, yeah. So now he kind of listens to when I kind of do a check on him. So.
Integrity and ethics real important for Joe and I, because we run on the real paranormal, and so many people pass that term around like they're real, and I'm like, oh, you have no clue what it's like to have to be held to this high standard. But I think everybody should do it in anything they do, whether it's paranormal or in your profession. And so I just run with that anyway. And we have to hold each other accountable for how we are and how we participate in this field, because it would really make us look bad if we did something very unethical. And even this long project we're working on, someone accusing you of doing stuff that you didn't do and you keep receipts, that's just real important to be integritous, because everybody else who knows you knows you're telling the truth, and they know that you wouldn't do that.
Right. How does it affect you, Brittany, you and Jamie, when you're doing it? Do you you put each other in check as far as what you put out there and how you do your investigations?
Not really. Jamie kind of does all like the debunking or whatever. For the most part, he thinks about it,
Right.
But for the most part, I don't have to really tell them, you shouldn't put that out there or nothing,
So he pretty much keeps himself in check, which is great. How about
Sometimes.
you, Miss Susan? Yeah, well, we know Jamie. We know how he rolls.
Sometimes.
Literally rolls. But
Literally.
Susan, how do you feel about it? As far as, on an ethical standpoint, how does it change how you do your investigations?
No, I just make sure that I do, I'm honest and I do the best I can. I rethink things as I do them as well. If there's any doubt in my mind that, I'm off, or, I'm not in the right state of mind or something, I definitely, try to get myself in check. But, I'm basically, I do the investigations by myself. So yeah.
Yeah, and also
Caroline.
locations will keep lists on people,
Yeah.
whether it's the YouTubers or not. If they don't feel that you are the right kind of people to go locations, then they talk to each other and spread lists around, just like any other business who says you can't come back here. That's the way that they handle things too.
All right. Well, actually, I know. I'm going to ask the question to all of you: is that did you ever think that you would be putting any of this on YouTube when you started doing any paranormal investigations?
Nope.
No.
Yeah, see, me neither. And it just happened to be. It happened, and that's why I always. That's another part with the editing for me, and that's why I'm raw. I want it to be raw out there, raw footage all the time, so you are experiencing what I experienced at that moment. Yeah, it doesn't make for a great glamorous video, but I'm not here to put on a movie. I'm here to show you what I found, and that's it. I think that's part of also why I don't do a lot of editing crap.
No, I never used YouTube before, other than music videos in the
Me
past.
too.
So when Joe introduced me, well, when I met him, he said, "I'm going live tonight," and I'm like, "Live? What does that mean?" And he said, "On YouTube," and I was like, "Well, what do you do there?" And he had to explain it to me. And then we did our
Right.
first investigation like a month and a half later. And I said, "Do I have to be on camera?" He's like, "I film for YouTube, Dawn." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Are you sure I have to be on?"
Yeah, we started
Mario.
with Facebook Live, and then it was like somebody, I don't know how, and he was like, "Wait, we need to do this on YouTube." And so then we linked our Facebook to YouTube, and now it's like we hardly ever do anything on Facebook. It's all YouTube now.
Right.
So.
Right. Yeah. Same with me. I always had the page, but like I watch a lot of documentaries and stuff like that. And then I thought to myself, well, what the hell? I do live stuff on Facebook, which was the jewelry that I used to make and the leather bags that I used to make. And then I said, well, shit, might as well just start doing the YouTube thing with the paranormal, because I was curious on learning from everybody else, and then also sharing my experiences to see, how similar everything was and how everybody did their investigations. That's pretty much how it all started for me on the YouTube thing. It's all a learning experience. And I hope to continue that with doing, interviews and getting stuff for people for like the magazine. You learn from other people's stuff, and that's why I like to put it in the print, so our audience can see that as well. Excuse me. Cree has a question. She says, "Do you think that women take things more personal than men in the paranormal world when questioned, or do you think men take it worse? In other words, are men or women more likely to bring the drama?" Oh.
I stay out of the drama, but I think it's equal.
There you go. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, the men do more of the debunking, so I think that's where the drama comes in. I stay out of it.
Aha. Yeah. Hi, Wiz. How's it going? Yeah, I think it's pretty equal. It depends. I think it depends on who or what's going on, where it might change a little bit as far as who gets deeper into the drama.
Right.
Well, Joe doesn't have feelings, so I mean, I'll take things more personal, but as far as drama, we try to stay out of it. Or have to do damage control or whatever. But yeah, I just about spit my water out at Ghost Wiener's comment. I swear to God.
I missed it. What did he say?
I missed it too.
It's
I
his
missed
dowsing
it.
rods comment. It's hilarious.
Oh, I see it. No, I've seen it. Yeah.
I about
No, I
spit my
saw
water out while everybody's talking.
Let's see. Chris said, "Hey, Laura, Allison from Adelaide Haunting Horizon said that YouTube is taking down all past lives as of the end of June, and they will delete the lives done within 30 days of release." Oh, I haven't heard that.
That's what Facebook is doing now too. Any lives or videos, like I get notifications for the podcast that after 30 days, Facebook deletes them.
Well, it is what it is. So you guys got to watch them while you can. That's all.
Right. You got 30 days.
30 days, get her done. It's kind of like the same thing when I say with the magazine. You got 30 days to download a PDF.
Yeah.
After that, I take it off and put the new one on. Let's see here.
I just don't have my picture. I don't have a picture.
Who's that mystery woman? That voice.
Oh, man.
But okay, so they're going to do that. Every time you turn around, YouTube's doing something.
Yeah. I always download it in a hard drive on my shows just as case as a backup. But
I don't have an extra hard drive to use right at the moment, and so I don't want to fill my computer up with shit. So
that's true.
If I don't delete it, they're going to delete it. So what the heck's the difference? Move on to the next is all I can say. Hey, Liz, thanks for joining us. Glad you could be here to support us. We really appreciate it. All right, speaking about the drama, guys, just plain out. What do you think about it? We'll start with Dawn.
Which drama? I mean, you have
the
to tell me. There's so much
shit that's out there. Just all of it in general, because it's all the same, just different people.
Well, no, it's usually the same people to me. I mean, it just seems like it doesn't stop with the same people over and over. But yeah, there are new people that join the mix. I don't get it. I think there are people who do like to bring drama, and some people don't realize they bring it. And I don't know. I would. After having these injuries, I'm cynical, I'm critical, I'm very critical of myself, but I can be real critical of people and have to judge and look at things critically. But after the injuries, I do have a different perspective because I could have lost my life 2 times now. That a friend of mine fell like I did, but she hit her head and she did lose her life. So I feel very fortunate, and it kind of makes me want to go back to, humility goes a long way. And you got to remember who brought you to where you are, especially if you're on YouTube or any kind of platform. Don't forget where you came from and who got you there, and beat your chest about you're the best thing ever kind of thing, or feel like you are not up for criticism or any kind of critical thinking that comes from debunking, especially these other channels. Like, they can't take constructive criticism, so that causes a lot of drama too. So I'm going to do better on me. Like I'm going to do better. And I just hope that I can pay it forward to, other people, can look at that and say, I need to do better too. I like when people are upbeat in this community, and I'm starting to gravitate towards the positive instead of the negative. And if people don't see me in their chats, it's probably for that reason, because I do want to start thinking more positively and attract that to myself than to stick in that negative. And that I call myself a Donnie Downer when I had to talk about my injury too much, because I don't want to be down all the time. I want to be upbeat and positive. So I think you'll see a change, change on the horizon, either in the good way or the bad way.
What do you think, Susan, about the drama?
Well, I think sometimes I question parenudity, because I feel like I don't know. I mean, we're all part of this community helping one another, but sometimes I feel that, either people, get jealous of someone else getting views or subs or, just, I don't know, calling other people out. I mean, it's just, I'm a straightforward person. I help whenever, whoever I can. And that's just who I am. I don't really care about, being a popular person or, anything. I just care about, helping other people. But I could see how other people, they think differently.
Dana, what do you think about this wonderful drama that we have to put up with?
I don't pay attention to the drama because I have found when I did my journey that I don't want negative around me, so I don't allow it to be around me. So Jeff may tell me bits and pieces of what it's, oh my God, did you see it? Nope. And it's just, I don't, even with everything going on in our personal lives with family and that, I surround it with positivity rather than I don't allow negative energy. So even like when I ghost hunt, I mean, when we're doing ghost hunts, same thing. I don't want the negative around me, so I don't allow it to be.
There you go. Miss Brittany, how about you?
Same as Dana. I stay away from it. I don't engage it. I don't even watch it. Jamie will tell me a little bit here and there, and I'm like, yeah, no.
Usually I don't even.
right.
I'm like, who are you talking about? I'm like,
me
I have
too.
no
I'm like,
idea.
who?
I'm like, who?
What happened? Wait, they got something going on? Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, and then I just
It's like
I'm
what I
usually-
miss.
Yeah, and then it's just like, oh, okay, and then I walk away. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it's just I stay out of it as well. It's
we try the best to stay out of it because sometimes it gets dumped in your lap and then you got to sort through it. And
but I do agree with Creed just made a statement how like drama actually gets more people to views and everything. I have seen that. I have seen that.
That's why a lot
she
of them
says
do
a
it.
question. She says, "Do you think it's right to put out a video and make it to where no one can comment on that video?"
Nope.
No. I think if you're going to put it out there, you should be able to take the flack that comes with it.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
If you believe you stand by what you put out, then you should be able to answer anything that's thrown at you.
Exactly.
That's my feeling.
Now there are times then you do have to block people from making comments.
We're not gonna mention names.
Right.
That's totally different.
Yeah, well, yes, that's the nutball syndrome. We won't stay away from that. But I mean, I will support somebody that puts out a video if they think they found something and they think it's legit. Yeah, put that out there. But also expect the questions and answer the questions, as honestly as you can. There's not everybody's going to like what somebody puts out.
Yeah. But even
especially if it's towards somebody that they like.
But even if you're making just a commentary on something, you should still allow the comments to come.
Right.
Everybody has their own opinions, and if you cannot talk nicely like adults through comments, then why are you even commenting? If you can't sit there and handle what someone says, and you can't, I mean, you have to be able to take criticism, and you also have to be, you have to be able to make a comment, and then if you don't like what somebody says, well, okay, that's fine. That's their opinion. Exactly. And it's so that this happens with me sometimes, and it's like so annoying when I see that, because it's like everybody has an opinion, and I will probably say 90% of the time my opinion is totally different than everybody else's opinion. And I don't care. I'm still going to listen to them, and I'm still going to be, okay, that's fine. But then they want them to hear my side of why my opinion's my opinion. As long as you can do that, then okay. But then again, that's where all the drama starts, because nobody can do that.
Nope.
Right. They can't be grown up about it. Because now I'm stuck in the middle because I'm pretty much neutral towards everything. But I'm going to support somebody that has something it's plausible, and again, you're going to make the comments that, well, how could you, support that? Well, because I'm supporting what they think is right, but I'm also supporting if somebody debunks it, then there you go. The proof is there in the pudding. So either way, yeah, everybody has an opinion. You have to respect it. You have to be open to it. But I do agree. Yeah, if you're going to put something out, you have to allow the comments so that they can be answered.
Right.
There's
I
going to be
agree.
questions, no matter what you put out there. And bottom line, guys, is, and I've said this from day one, the minute you put something on YouTube, there's going to be somebody that's going to shred it apart. There's going to be somebody that doesn't like you. They aren't going to like your opinions. You be as kind as you can and move on. And if you don't like what we're saying or what we're putting out there, then don't watch it.
Exactly. You ain't got to like what we put. Move
Just
on.
don't.
Yeah, I say, Cree asked, what determines if you block someone? In our instance, the only time we have ever blocked someone is because they were like blowing up, saying rude things to people in the chat, but they also were commenting things over and over and over, and it was the same stuff over and over and over. And so that's when we blocked.
Harassing. We had to block the same person.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it became. It was harassment. And when because we usually do not block we hardly ever block anybody from anything. We had to block him on everything, on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, on YouTube. I mean, we blocked him on everything, and even our personal pages, because even though we can't figure out why he never figured out our last names, because it's everywhere. But we blocked our personal profiles from him so he couldn't get to those last names. So
right. Yeah, I had to do the same thing, and I never even said anything to the guy.
Me too. Yeah,
we had, I think,
association.
Because honestly, what he was doing is he was going through our Facebook page, because he did everything on Facebook. Because the comments he would say, he's like, well, why'd you delete my comment? And we're like, what are you talking about? And no, it's like, because he would make a comment on YouTube thinking he made it on Facebook, or he made it on our Facebook and it went to YouTube. And so he was getting himself confused.
That's funny.
But he literally was going through our Facebook, and anybody that had commented on any of our stuff or liked any of our posts, he was starting to peg them out and just reaching out to them. And it just began to be to the point that, I mean, when you're getting the first night when we got, I think it was an over 2 hours worth of messages, like back to back.
Yes.
Where it woke me up. Like, it woke me up, and we had, I mean, it was like literally stop. I mean,
I can't handle the back messages.
Right.
I know when he started with us, I was like, you better block him.
My watch,
all those trolls, and oh my god, it was terrible.
From all the messages he was doing, my watch, like halfway through the day, from dinging so much, would die. Like, I would be almost to the end of my day at work, my watch would be dead. It's like, seriously. Usually I can go crazy. I usually can go like 18 hours before my watch would, and it was like, by the time I think of like 3 o'clock came around, my watch was like 10% left. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Wow.
So yeah,
he's got some bolts loose. That's all we got to say about that one.
Pretty much.
So Sheila wants to know, do you ever think there'll ever be an all-female ghost hunting TV show? That would be awesome. But unfortunately, TV means it's fake.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Joe says he can't find any information that confirms YouTube is going to start removing past live streams. Same thing with Facebook. I think it's fake news going around. Okay, thanks, Joe.
No, I actually got a comment on Facebook.
Oh, did you?
On my Facebook that said that my podcast is going to be deleted within 30 days. So I think the Facebook thing is true.
Well, I saw it and someone said it was from February, and I'm like, well, we're into April and it still hasn't happened though. So I don't know if it's
well, and sometimes those things can be fake. Because we've gotten a couple things saying about Facebook, and I told Jeff, don't touch them, don't just delete them, because they're probably fake, because we would have heard. Yeah, I'm sure they would have sent it to us in a different way than posting it the way it was posted. So it's like,
yeah, because I was researching a location that made the post, and they said it came that from February they're going to be deleting. I said, well, they just made this post in April, and I still see everything, so I'm not sure what's going on there.
Oh no, that reminds me. So there is one other way that people do get blocked in our chat, and that's if they are being very rude or or they're being very nasty to either to us
Somebody
or
in the chat. Yep.
somebody in the chat. That is another way to get deleted.
Right. Yeah, I say that from from the minute the show starts.
Mhm.
If you can't be kind, you're out. That's
Yeah.
it. And my mods know that if they are misuse it, be abusive, they're out. Because I'm not going to have.
Mhm.
This is a safe space, and I want people to be safe, secure,
Exactly.
Yep.
and I want none of that crap on my channel whatsoever. I don't put up with it. Cree says, "Do you think? What do you think about someone that says they've heard something or that something happened, but maybe it was this or that, but are unsure, and ask the viewers what they think? Is this faking to you?"
You gotta be careful with the word fake, I think, because there are some obvious ones out there, and then there are some that it's just, it's a question. But you also have to be careful when you ask the viewers what they think, because you're the one that needs to interpret it. You are there, you're looking at your own footage. You've got to put your explanation out there of what you think it is. Then you can say, and Joe said it before, well, we can let other people look at it and make up their own minds, but we also have to have our own strong opinion about, well, I'm not really sure. That's why we tend to say this is really interesting. There are things that never make our footage. If you watch the raw footage from like the members only, you'll see that there may be a scratch somewhere, or there may be a sound that pops off, and then you won't find it in his episode when he's done editing it, because it wasn't strong enough for us to put it out there, whereas other teams, they'd put just about everything that a mouse farts and it makes their episode. So
Yeah, right.
Joe's really good at picking stuff. I get upset, believe me, because I will think we've captured the best EVP in response to something, and then he'll line up everything and be like, "Nope, that was a car driving by." And I'm like, "Are you serious? Like, come on,
Yeah,
no,
I do
no, I
that to
know it
Jeff all the
wasn't."
time.
Yeah,
He gets mad. He's like, "Wait," and I'm like, "That no." I said it's this and this, and it's like, I mean, that one time it took Jeff like, because we had to figure it out. We were it was a private house, and he lined up every single like audio that we had, video, and that's because it sounded like somebody walking, and it ended up being the gas stove, heater stove downstairs kicking on, and it made it sound like somebody walking. But he probably put probably 20-30 hours into lining up all the cameras to debunk it before he would share that with the homeowner, because and then it was like, crap, can't even show it now because we
it's
found
a
out what it
lot of
was.
work,
Yeah.
but you shouldn't let the viewer always just make up the mind for you. You do have to have your opinion first, because you experienced it, and then let them decide what they want to think about it, and be done with it. But I would not want to ask my audience all the time, well, what do you think? Because then I don't think they'll understand that I'm just gonna toss it to them and let them decide, and it takes me out of um, the answer there would be like, I should have made a decision what I think that is, or it's interesting. Just say it's interesting at this point, because everything can be interesting, and we don't know what we're talking about. I think everybody, even Joe, as good as he is at investigating, we're not going to label everything paranormal. We just can't, because we don't know for
No,
sure.
no, you can't. Unless you have 100% proof, you can't. You have to leave it as, yeah, that's interesting. It should be looked into. Or like you said, this is my opinion. What are your thoughts on this? That's a better way to word it. Same thing, because like here, Cree says, only because we're talking about drama, do you think that sometimes videos are made because they have a personal, something personal against them, jealousy maybe, or whatever? Some cases, yes, I do believe that. Some of this stuff is a personal vendetta driven type thing. Other times I think, no, actually the person is questioning what they found and they're putting it out there. So it could be either or. A lot of it, I've noticed though, on other places, a lot of it's personal. And all this drama is, a lot of it is personal driven. I look at it this way. Whoever's background or whatever is going on in the background, personal, is nobody's damn business. It doesn't belong on here. We're here to do paranormal investigations, debunk information and data that we find, and put it out for the community to enjoy and question. That's the whole part of it, guys. We expect the questions. We expect the debunking because we're doing it ourselves. That's part of being an investigator. You're supposed to do that.
And you got to be really careful too now with some teams and locations that will talk crap about debunkers, but then they'll make a post like, oh, this team tried to debunk this, because they don't want to put something on their back of, well, we don't look into it and they have a right to look at us. You put a target on yourself as a location and as a YouTuber. But at the same time, like, if you're gonna talk crap about debunkers, then you better be ready to for them to look into stuff. And you can't just say, well, like she was saying with Fright Night and some of these other channels, they might be pretending to debunk because they want people to be off their backs. And so they're going to say, oh, let's go look at this, because they finally realize that's what we're asking them to do, but they should have been doing it all along to be credible. So when you start seeing some of these channels, all of a sudden they're quote unquote debunking, I'd be kind of cautious of it, because many of them have been bashing the debunking community for a long time, and locations too.
Yep. So it's, and it makes it even harder for the rest of us. It's because they do these kinds of things, and then when we go to do this, then all this other garbage gets pulled up, and it's hard. I mean, it's bad enough what we do. I mean, it's a hobby. Bottom line, it's a hobby, guys. But some of them are fortunate to be able to do this full time as a work. But the thing is that, like you said, with the debunking thing and all of that, a lot of them, oh, well, we don't do this or we don't do that. How could you be an investigator and not debunk? Or why do we need the debunkers? They're bullies. They're troublemakers. I don't see them as that way. I don't know about you ladies. I see the debunkers as the police of the paranormal. When you get people out there falsifying documents and findings, that's what these guys are supposed to do. They're supposed to point this out and say, no, look at this. And then the audience sees, well, gee, yeah, that kind of makes sense. I'm not saying that some can't be bullies. I mean, I haven't experienced anybody being a bully.
No, most of them are respectful about it.
Yeah.
You have to be able to take constructive criticism and have thick skin. You just have to.
Exactly.
Or don't do it, and don't be scared. And don't be an investigator if you're scared. Don't go.
Right. Yes, Mark, exactly. Yeah. A paranormal investigator is a debunker, or should be. That's just one of the things you're supposed to do.
Yep. 100%.
Now, see, and I'll even take this as an example, the fall with Jamie. Now, yes, we're all laughing. We think it was funny as hell. But he could have played that off like, holy shit, something just pushed me down.
Exactly.
So see, there's the difference there. Well, we all know he slipped and busted his own ass.
But other channel, those fake channels would have put it out as a demon pushed them.
So yeah, it's
the demon carpet.
The demon carpet, exactly. There's a lot of things that all of us have experienced and have happened while investigating, and we could have played it off as paranormal. But again, that integrity kicks in. It's look at Jamie was a bucket ass and fell down. Or, look at this, I did this, or I did that, or
Yep.
So.
Yep, if we were the one making the noise, we always make sure that was us, so where nobody's like, oh, we heard a noise. Nope, that was just us stepping. Or like the last one that we did, it was kind of like in a wooded area and had armadillos coming, and we could hear something walking. Other people were like, oh, footsteps. And I'm like, Nope, that's an animal trying to get me. I'm about to run, not because if it's a ghost, because,
Right. It's gonna-
because I don't want this animal getting me.
That's why I stopped doing like, abandoned buildings, because God knows what's in there.
I told him, I said, I can't do this. He's
And
like, you
it's
just left me
usually
behind.
something-
I was like, well, you had protection. I did not. I was out.
You were on your own. You were on your own. There's a good question. What is the worst thing that you have come upon in an abandoned location?
Mm.
We haven't really done any like abandoned locations. We did more like businesses or houses or plantations. So besides that wooded area, that was the only place we ever really.
Right.
I'm
How
trying to
you
think.
know?
Well, I haven't done abandoned, but Joe and I've like ventured over into some that were close to a few locations. And I have 10 years in real estate, and from a real estate perspective, when I went to homes that were abandoned or foreclosed on, you have to be careful where you walk, animals, all kinds of
Mhm.
fun things. That to me would be scarier. And then if you're trespassing, you better be ready for cops to show up. So that's
Right.
scarier to me than like anything paranormal at a location. Is is just like how I think we watched Dawson go to one with his mom that time, and remember like the floorboards were all like falling apart, and they're just like tiptoeing around trying to see if they don't fall in through the floorboards. I mean, like I'd be more scared of that with abandoned stuff. I like watching people
Yeah.
do some of the abandoned places, and I get sad too because banks could easily, or families could have taken over properties that really are beautiful and make no sense that they let them get out of hand to where they fall apart and could be a good home for someone. And I get sad about it.
Yeah. We have had a lot around here. There's a lot of places I would love to go into, but again, you can't trust the building, the structure. And knowing me, yeah, I end up in the basement or something. So yeah, I try to stay away from that.
Yeah, we don't
the
really.
vagrants.
Yeah, we don't go in a lot of like vacant buildings, but we did the school, the middle point school that we went to. That was kind of dangerous, considering they have a lot of people that go in there. There's like a lot of floorboards missing, like in areas where they have just another piece of plywood on it. But if that plywood slips, you're going to be going down. I mean,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it was like, that was probably the worst I've ever been in, but it wasn't like it was overly not safe, but it was not in the best condition. I would have thought they would have taken better care of where you knew people were going to be walking, and you're having them sign a waiver, but yet you're not making it safe enough for them in spots where they should be where you want them to go, but you're not making it where they can obviously go.
Correct. Whenever we went to the Paracon, the people that owned the Fairbanks house was at the Paracon, and he was like, "I just want y'all to know, I went and taped all those carpets down."
Yes.
I said, "Oh man, so we can't do another demon slip."
So yeah, Jamie's reputation preceded him.
That was the first thing I did after I saw it.
It was a beautiful place.
It was
So at least
beautiful.
you got to enjoy that, even though the rest
we
of it was a
plan to go back for
disappointment.
sure.
So yeah, we're looking forward to that. That's going to be awesome.
Hmm.
So at least maybe you'll get something besides, oh, I'm getting a name. It starts with a B. Really? How interesting. So yeah, that ruins it for me when I see that. And I like to have. I want to do an interview with mediums and stuff like that, but the thing is, I got to weed through to find out who's full of it and who isn't. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a long process.
Hard, yeah.
Hey Ash, hi, how's it going? Thanks for joining. Let's see, Creasa, Jamie Watson, I got a visual. Oh God. Brown streaked out his underwear. That was yeah. The visual on that must have been bad enough for you. Oh yikes! I don't know, guys. I don't know. It's pretty bad. So, does anybody else have any more questions for our lovely ladies? What is going on in the future for Ply Paranormal, Miss Brittany?
We do have the Stanley booked with Mariah.
Nice.
And then we have the Myrtles with a bunch of y'all. There's something. Oh, we
Nice.
have the Ferrara Elementary School book. This is all like September, October. They're all kind of
Fantastic.
in that same time frame. I think that's the only 3 we have currently scheduled. But I know he wants to try to do the DeRitter jail too, but we haven't been able to get in there yet.
That's it. Fill that calendar up. What about you, Miss Boo? What is the plans for the Boo production?
We have something going on in a couple weeks. Can't say anything about it. Not till we get done with everything, and then we will be seeing several people in September down in Louisiana. And we also have, bye Jen. We also have
Bye, Jen.
yeah, they said bye Jen. Just going back to my mom's house. And we actually, I think this video we're going to be putting out, this next video is going to it's going to have a lot of controversial aspects to it, because we've had a lot of people reaching out to us saying don't do it, but yet it's like, no, it needs to be told. So, and that's with the Warren Legacy Foundation. So
yeah, we've been waiting on that.
yeah.
So
It's
wait.
something we have to have done. So
how about Miss Susan? What's on Miss Susan's schedule?
I'm probably going to take a close friend of mine to go to the Bridgewater Triangle. I'm hoping that Ryan from Spookfest will come up and we could all go together. There were sightings there for Bigfoot, from UFOs. So I definitely want to check that out. And just basically do like local areas for the time being. And the show.
Yes. And the show. How about you, Miss Dawn?
I'm not allowed to speak.
Oh, Joe, what the
I had to
hell?
sign an NDA before coming on here.
Oh no!
Oh boy.
Well, my injury has kept me from doing a lot, and it still is
Right.
going to keep me from doing what I want, but I will slowly get back out there. I didn't want to miss the upcoming one because it was already booked before I hurt myself, and it's just something that, Joe's making sure I don't miss it, but I just can't do a whole lot to help him. And then the other ones are kind of still that hush thing, except for Myrtles. Everybody's knowing about that, that we will get down there. And thankfully it's later on in the year. I wouldn't be able to participate, but we're going to throw in probably some random things once I can get back to working and having an income again, because that's also been very rough.
Right, y'all. Yeah,
Things are expensive to go to places.
Yes, they
Absolutely.
are. And of course, Wiener wanted to know what kind of pizza you gals like.
Everything.
Everything. I like Supreme, Hawaiian.
Like pizza. Oh, I love Hawaiian too.
Hawaiian, yeah. I don't, because I'm allergic to tomatoes, so I don't try to eat a lot of pizzas with tomato sauce. So like bacon ranch and like a chicken bacon ranch, or like
sounds so good, but Jamie
pizza.
hates ranch.
Or like a Mediterranean pizza. I'll do that.
Yeah.
Then it's got like a garlic butter to it.
That sounds so
There
yummy.
you go.
Now I'm hungry.
Cree wants to know if any of you have ever heard of Michelle. I'm going to screw this name up.
Michelle Bellinger.
Is that how you say it?
Bellinger, yeah.
Have you guys heard of her? She doesn't do private readings. She's also a specialist in the occult and stuff.
She's on TV a lot with Katrina and Jack for their shows, or Nick and Katrina. She's part of the documentary, if you were a member and got to watch some of the interview with Matt to speak on the occult stuff that went on. And she's very knowledgeable. I got to kind of witness some of that interview. and I don't on the psychic end, I'm not sure on that part with her, but she's so knowledgeable on the occult because she studied it and has degrees,
Wow.
and so I know who she is, yes, and I would I would I would say some of the episodes I've seen, she's a little out there for my taste, but when it comes to the knowledge, she's got it.
She's got it. Very interesting. Shadow Cat, thanks for joining and hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. You have a great evening. Sheila wants to know, Mrs. Boo, how many pets do you have and what are their names?
So I have 2 in the house, which is obviously Boo, that's always in the chair, and Styles, aka Bubba, who is he's my baby boy. He's a boxer coonhound mix, and Boo's a pug bulldog mix. And then at daycare is Styles' mom and brother, which is Appy and Gordy, and then Dixie sometimes comes with. She's an interesting mix. She's a German Shepherd Greyhound mix. So she looks like a German Shepherd, but skinny like a Greyhound. So it's kind of funny. And then my other one is a Great Dane. She's my grandfur baby, Maggie, which she's in Germany right now. So usually at any point, if sometimes the dogs come here, so then it would be 4 of them here. But usually they go to my mom's house for daycare. But actually in the house, I have 2.
Ash thinks that we look scary. Why do we look scary? I'm sorry. We're not here to cause nightmares. I mean, we could if you want, but you know.
Speak for yourself. I'm not on camera, so I don't look scary. But if I were on camera, I would look
But
scary.
you're the mystery voice. That's the scariest of all.
Yeah, you're the ghost of us all.
The voice from the heavens. Let's see here. Let's see if I'm missing anything.
Yeah, you guys need my RBF face up there. That's all you need. That'd be even scarier.
Well, next time I'll show up in a mask of some sort.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I have to get a hold of Elaine. Elaine, are you out there?
We don't have any. You don't have any female debunkers that wear masks, right?
No, I don't think so.
Not that I know of.
Yeah, I didn't think so. It's too late because everybody knows what we look like, so it's too late now.
She is not a pit bull. Oh my gosh.
You guys have this discussion often.
Well, it all started, you know why he does this? Because somebody particular on our page said something about our dog being a pit bull. And it's like, she is not a pit bull. It's like, oh, yeah.
Oh, thank you, Jamie.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jamie. Jamie's a sweetheart. Let's see. I think they're talking about a little bit of music in the chat. Yeah, Cree's laughing. Yeah, he always says that every time they discuss the dogs. He's always saying she's a pit bull. And Dana's like, no.
No, she's not. Trust me, if she's expensively, we know she's not. Because when she got tested for her Addison's disease, they had to break down like her DNA somehow just to see, to check out. And it's like, no, she's mixed. So any mutt they call a pit bull, and it's like, she's not a pit bull. She's pug and bulldog, and she's got some boxer in her, but she's mostly
she looks more boxer than anything else.
And she's got that short, fat little face. It's not as short as a pug, but it's shorter. And then because Bubba, his is a little bit longer than a boxer's, more like the coonhounds, but his markings are all boxer. People are surprised. They're like, wait, he's not full boxer. It's like, no, he's not. See, he's not a pit bull.
Not a pit bull. And then he's what would Jeff say? Oh, Jeff's saying that she's vicious.
She can be. She can be when she wants to.
Chewing on Jeff. And then she said, oh, I get it. See, pugs are pansies. Jeff is trying to give her the reputation. Yeah, you see what it is? Yeah.
Well, if you would walk past our street and you saw her in the window, you would think she's going to come through that window at you. When she's not. She's just barking because you're in her property, or what she assumes is her property. This is funny because Jeff used to live across the street. Somebody's going to be moving in across the street. I feel so bad for them because Boo still protects that house like it's her own. So if she sees anybody over there, she barks. I'm like, this poor man, when he moves in, he's going to be like, why is this dog always barking at me? And it's going to be like,
It's because you're in his house. That's
yeah,
fine.
she's only vicious. That is exactly true. She's vicious because she wants the chair.
Wants her chair.
Yeah,
You're out,
so
Jeff.
she's been enjoying it though. So with me being gone so much those last 2 weeks, that she's been, I keep getting pictures of her laying in the chair, just waiting for me. And I'm like, and I'm not coming home. And she's just waiting and looking like, where's mom?
Mom's not here.
And
No,
Jeff,
but now,
Jeff better recognize that's the name of your brand, so you better stop.
exactly,
stop it.
right? Yeah.
Mhm.
She is the reason we have Boo Productions Paranormal. That was funny because somebody, they're like, oh, that's so cute. You named your dog after your group. And it's like, no, our group's named for our dog. And then they're like, oh, it's like, yeah, it's named after her. So
Wouldn't want to call it Jeff's Productions.
No, not at all.
They wouldn't carry as much clout. I'm sorry. I just said, Chris said I laughed because on the last live, Boo Productions Paranormal Toledo didn't sit in the chair at all. She laid down sleeping until her mom will come home.
Yeah. Which has surprised me because I came in one day and she was just like, usually she's like begging to get up here, and she actually just was laying on the floor right next, because we usually put a pillow and a blanket down for them right beside so they can lay down, and she actually just laid there and just waited. But since I've been home, because their schedules are off because they're not going to daycare every day, and their schedules are so off. But at night, let me tell you, I don't think they can get any closer to me at night, because that, and then their eating schedules off because I'm usually their main feeder. So like today, we were home all day, but Bubba didn't eat. He only ate half his breakfast and he held on, and then Boo ate the rest of it later in the day. But he's holding off. He's not eating his full meals, and because he's just like, when's mom coming home next? So
Right. Yeah, my dog does. They too. If I go away for the weekend and my son dog sits, she won't eat the whole weekend.
yeah. Usually if it's whoever the main feeder is, because they always know when they're next, though, if they don't come home. Like that's what's happened. Like Jeff would feed them, and then because he'll feed them at night sometimes, but then the next morning I didn't feed them breakfast, so they didn't eat because they wanted to make sure they had food for the next time, because they didn't know when I'd be back to feed them. So
They didn't think Daddy was gonna feed him.
Well, it's funny because for a very long time, I'd be like, I would have to remind him, did you feed the dogs? Oh shit, no, I didn't feed the dogs. He's gotten, yeah, but he's gotten much better at feeding them now with my crazy schedules right now. So
yeah, I just gotta have that sign. I always would put a sign up, like in the first place they hit is the bathroom, so the sign is stuck to the vanity mirror in the bathroom. Feed the animals.
This is funny. Boo won't let you not feed her though, because Bubba, this is fine. When he's out of water, we have the empty jugs for the 5-gallon water coolers.
Right.
He will go and he'll tap that if he's out of water, because he likes ice cold water, and we won't let him drink out of the toilet. So he wants ice cold water. So it's like, okay, you just got to change the water for him. No problem. Boo, she goes and rings the bell. And when you don't feed her, she hits it and usually breaks the bell. But then she'll sit there and she will jump. She will come and bark at you and jump on you. And then she'll go in the kitchen, and the container sits between our stove and the fridge. And she literally will stand there and she'll look at you like this and go, bam, and hit it with her foot and just bam until you feed her. It's like, okay.
Yeah, she's, I'm here. Hello, it's empty. Jeff says, I do feed him on a schedule when Dana isn't here. No dog neglect.
Now he's gotten much better, although it was
just
quite funny.
covering his ass.
It was quite funny because because we've been helping take care of my mom since my sister's not been home. And it's so funny because he actually said to my sister, he goes, "Yeah, I saved the grocery list so you know that I've been feeding mom." It's like, oh my gosh, okay. So
Hey,
so
Chizza.
so he's now to the point of making sure that everybody gets fed. So he does much better on the feeding the dogs on a schedule.
Chizza says, not a question, more of a compliment. Can I just say how much joy Brit's laugh brings? It is
Aw.
so infectious.
Aw.
Okay, give us a giggle. Come on. There it is. Got the giggle.
Surprised y'all don't hear my dog. They're at the door whining for me.
Yeah, mine's sitting there. I'm hearing her moving around. Ash says, I have two dogs, a Chug and an American Bulldog. Bulldogs are cute, but I know they have a lot of nose problems.
Yeah.
So that's maybe why I didn't pick that. I have a German Shepherd, and she's just a big baby. That's all she is. And when we don't feed her or don't have her water bowls empty, she'll pick, and it's a metal, stainless steel bowl, and it sits in a stand, and she'll pick it up with her tooth and clang it. And she'll keep doing it until I pay attention to fill the bowl.
Oh yeah, Boo will do that. Because theirs sits in like a raised platform, and she literally will hit the bowl and make it bang until like if she's out of water or if she needs food, she'll do that too. But the best one is when she stares at you and just takes her paw and bam and hits the food container. It's like, do you want food? Although she does try to get into it too. We actually have bite marks on the corner where she literally tries to lift the lid to get in there herself to get her own food. So,
right. Oh, my dog, the same thing with refrigerator. We have the water in the fridge and ice. Mm-hmm. And yeah, she discovered she could hit that thing and the ice cubes will drop out.
Boo's brother does that at his house.
Like, great.
I'm glad mine don't do that.
Yeah.
The biggest one I could reach is too dumb to do it, so I'm good.
No, Athena's just too damn smart. Ches has been lurking. That's what's going on. Lurking. Let's see here. Jamie, there's a full chisel gig on. Oh, they're talking about music. Something that we weren't getting into, guys. Okay, can you ladies please, one by one, let everybody know where we can find you and how they can join in on your adventures on YouTube?
Who's going first?
We'll start with Dawn, seeing that she is our mystery lady.
You know, you can usually, well, I mean, it's Joe's channel, Entity 7 Paranormal, but then I have my own, which is Dawn of the Dead, but it's Dawn _ after each word. And I will revamp that page and put some paranormal, like what I intended. I just have to have some grace and time to do so. But that's how I can be found. And then on social media, Facebook and Instagram, I just try to keep my circle small. I don't add too many people. But you know, that's where you can find me.
Okay, Miss Susan, how can we find you?
Oh God. Susan Victoria, Facebook, Central Mass Happy Hour Paranormal on Facebook. My YouTube channel, Central Mass Paranormal Society. That's where we have our show as Laura's my co-host, Paranormal Happy Hour. And I actually just opened up a drama-free network that's called Wonders of the World, which is right now on Facebook, but we are going to make a YouTube channel for that. And TikTok, Instagram, you name it.
And just let you guys know that it's not Susan jumping up and down, it's her table.
Yes, it is. It is. I'm starting to shake. Sorry. It's not an earthquake.
It's not
really.
an earthquake, it's the table.
Just makes her
And
look
thank
super
you, Raven, for
excited.
sharing everybody's links. Okay, Brittany, let everybody know where we can find you and your chuckle.
I'm Brittany with Ply Paranormal. We have Facebook. I think we have an Instagram. I don't even know. I think we do though.
We got a little bit of everything.
And she did put the link in the chat for everybody. All of ours.
Thank you, Raven. And Miss Boo, of course, we know how to find you, but tell us anyway.
Yep. We have Boo Productions Paranormal Toledo. Then we started my own page. It's Mrs. Boo Productions Paranormal Toledo, which we do more of our comedy stuff is going on. And then we're also on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. So, and then of course the YouTube stuff. So
there you go. That's where you're going to find everybody. Just a reminder, there will be an update on the Mountain and Crystal drama.
Yes.
As soon as we can get together and take care of that, we will put it out for you guys. We don't want you guys to think that we forgot about you. Also, I just want to thank everybody on the panel for joining us. I had a great time. Anytime you all want to do it again, just let me know. And yeah, we're going to set up the men versus women. That's
We
going
need
to be
to.
fun.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So get ready
That'd
for
be
that
cool.
one, guys. That'll be fun. She says, I'm trying to find your channel, Dana. Oh, she's there.
Yeah,
She's
it's
there.
Mrs. Boo Productions Paranormal Toledo. Oh, we have Discord too, but we don't.
Oh yeah, we do have Discord. You're
Yeah,
right.
I was
forgot.
like, Two Ply's theirs is way better than ours. Theirs is very active. Ours is
Yeah,
not so
mine's
much.
not.
Yeah, but we have it, and so it's like, yeah, it's.
So yeah, I'm saying actually me and Susan were just talking about this. Yeah, I've got Discord. If somebody sends me a message, I answer it, but I'm not very active on it.
I'll go in there real quick. Let me see. Ta-da.
Joe says us
Joe put his
guys
foot
are
in his
gonna
mouth.
win. We always finish first. Wait a minute.
That sounds like a
You are
personal
right, we
problem.
do.
Mouth.
You
That's a
always
personal problem.
finish first.
Wow.
Joe's telling on
Yeah.
himself.
Yes.
There we go.
Well, actually, Don filled us in, but we're not supposed to tell you, Joe. So-
It was top secret information.
Sorry, that slipped out. Now I'm going to choke to death. But, all right, and you guys know where to find me. I'm here. I'm always here. So,
Yeah.
I do my normal shows on Wednesday. I do the shows with Susan on Saturdays, and then my show with Carla on Sunday for fun. So you guys just want to check it all out. You know, it's Raw Side Paranormal. Also, I have a magazine for the community called Paranormal Pages, The Inside View. Please, guys, send in your stories, your adventures, your experiences, your recipes, whatever you want, artwork, whatever. To fill the pages, it's free. I put it out once a month at the beginning of every month, and everybody is welcome to join in. That's the whole part of the magazine. It's community-based. And also, if you want, you guys go subscribe to all of these lovely ladies to see what they have been up to and what they're going to be doing. Like and subscribe to all the channels. That would be great. It's free, guys, and it helps out. And if you'd like to help support my channel, I would appreciate it. Link is at the top of the chat. And thanks, everybody. I want to thank you, everybody. You guys mean a great deal to all of us. Without you, we couldn't be here. And that's pretty much it, guys. So, ladies, thank you. Thank you very much, everybody in chat. And remember, guys, always live life a little bit on the raw side. We'll see you next time. Have a great night, everybody.